You're watching the 2019-20 SCAC Men's and Women's Swimming and Diving Media Days. Today we're taking a look into the Centenary College Men's and Women's Swimming and Diving programs. Of course, a season ago, both the ladies and gents took home fourth place finishes at the SCAC Conference Championship meet. The ladies and gents will be led once again by head coach Butch Jordan, along with junior Chris Reese on the men's side and senior Jessi Jordan on the women's side. Coach, Chris, Jessi, thanks so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Coach, going into your 19th season, what have you come to love and enjoy about this part of the season, the start of a new year, with respect to all of the challenges that a new season presents, and just how excited are you to get everyone back in the pool together?
The beginning of the year is always exciting to the first day of practice. Then you see how out of shape they are, and that becomes a little bit problemsome. But we've definitely worked our way from that starting point. So it's always exciting to see the quick improvement, hopefully minus injuries. But it's always fun to get going. It's fun to get that first meet under your belt. It's fun to get we start looking towards the meets and what we got for the season.
Jessi, for you in your senior season, does it feel different this year? Being one of the lone seniors on the team, how have you kind of approached that and shouldered that leadership role heading into the year?
I think it definitely is different. It kind of feels like it's my last chance to really do what I can in swimming. So I'm trying to, for myself, work as hard as I possibly can to give it all my last season ever. And then for the team, we have a lot of really great freshmen this year that are ready to be a part of the team. So I think a lot of it is trying to sort of lead the team to be like a family and be close and be there for each other, and just kind of helping all of those new freshmen and all the other underclassmen to sort of work together to reach our goals.
Chris, you and the rest of your teammates open up the season with a dual meet victory against Millsaps. What did you see kind of from an overall team perspective in that win that gives you confidence as you look forward to the rest of the season?
Well, we're really close as a team, and I think the number one thing that can get a team to be successful is team chemistry. I think a team of all-stars that don't get along won't get as far as a team that works really well together. And I think that's what we have, because at practice we just really enjoy being around each other, and that helps us get through every practice, because they are very hard. And I think that'll help us get through the whole season, just like last year when we had a great conference.
Coach, you already talked about sort of some of the progression you've seen from your team, and certainly when it comes to swimming, the thing that I love so much about swimming season is it allows teams to get better through the course of the season. That, when you hop in the water at the beginning of the year, you're not necessarily going to be the same athlete as it come championship season. So what are a few things that you're looking for from your athletes over the course of the first month or so of the season that will give you confidence that come championship time, both the ladies and the gents will be ready to roll?
A couple of things are enthusiasm. You want the kids enthusiastic about getting the work done. They understand there's a process. The process is something that doesn't happen overnight, and you want the kids to understand that it's a season-long process, and we need to be moving forward at all times. And I think the hard practices, and if the kids support each other, that makes a great environment for us to swim well at the end of the season. That's what we're looking for. The end of the season meet is what we aim for.
Chris, Coach talks about some of the enthusiasm that is required, and sort of, when it comes to swimming, the physical demands that this sport entails. What did your summer look like as you prepared to get ready for your junior season? Kind of take me through that process leading up to this year.
During the summer, I spent a lot more time in the gym doing dry land. I went to the gym 6 days a week, and I swam 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, to try to keep in shape. This was actually more than I did in the past because of how well I did last year at conference. The whole team did really well, and we really didn't want to lose our ground. We wanted to get back right into the season, trying to pick up right where we left off.
Jessi, you talked about a number of freshmen coming into this team, and the impact that they're going to make. I think one of the great things about being a senior is you have perspective and you have that urgency that you talked about. How do you kind of instill that urgency in some of these younger athletes? Because it is tough as a freshman not to sort of fall back on, I've got 2 or 3 more years left of this. How do you instill your urgency with those younger athletes? What's been your message?
I think my biggest thing has been to sort of lead by example. So when we have a particularly hard set, I think it'll be about sort of attitude going into that. Not to just, when we hear a really hard set, just to make comments about how hard it's going to be, or just give a really big sigh right before, just to go into it excited. And then for drylands and things that are going to be particularly hard, just to try to get out in front and to try to push them and bring them with me, and so that kind of just to work as a team to lift each other up. And I think doing all of that and working toward our goals together is going to be a big thing, because it'll help everyone realize, especially the younger freshmen, that swimming at this level isn't so much an individual sport as it is a team sport, because at conference it is going to be all of our finishes and our individual points that count toward how we do at conference. So I think it'll be really emphasizing that we work and we perform as a team.
Coach, Jessi gives me a great transition there. I think oftentimes swimming is sort of viewed as an individual sport with a lot of individual efforts, but how do you emphasize the team aspect of this sport, and is that something that you feel is very important when it comes to the success of this program?
Oh, it's definitely important. At Centenary, we depend a lot on our captains, these people to my right and left. We expect those to really work on that team aspect. Every year we go, it seems this will be the 3rd year in a row of conference meet, we go to a different facility, so we don't know what to expect at a new facility again. And I know we have to be able to roll with punches there, what we're given. We all will swim fast wherever we're at, because we expect the other teams to do the same. The team atmosphere is just so important. We have to kind of reiterate that from time to time, that they need to understand that it's a group effort. And these guys right here, that's their job.
Finally, to wrap things up with both of the student athletes, Chris and Jessi, as Coach mentioned, both of you being captains of your team, and as you've had conversations with your teammates about some of the goals for this 2019-2020 season, what have those conversations looked like? What are some of those goals that the two of you have for these ladies and gents swimming programs going into the season?
I think one of the problems we come in every year with is bringing in the new freshman class, because they come from different backgrounds and they come from such different high school teams that like a college team is very different. We're much more of a family because we live together, and really it's just getting the freshmen to transition into that from like just friends to more of a family. That's one.
On the ladies' side, we do have, starting last year, we gained a lot of new breaststrokers, and so we now have potential to be sort of a real powerhouse in breaststroke, especially the 100 breast. So I think a good goal for the girls' team is to try to get as many of us a top 8 finish if we can. And for the rest of the girls' team, we are a lot bigger than we've been in the past. So we'll have more relays, and it'll be more competitive to try to make the A relays. But I think we can use our depth that we have now that we haven't in the past to really try to make a real appearance at conference this year.
And finally, Coach, to wrap things up with you, these seasons are successful if what plays out for these two teams. What are you looking for from your two groups, in the pool that will allow these programs to kind of take those next steps forward and have a successful season?
Well, I believe that really our conference meet is always so much fun when everybody does well. 2 years ago, we did not have a good conference. I believe that was due to a lot of things out of our power, which was illness. But this past year was so much fun. I think if you build off of that each year, the returning swimmers are excited about conference because they know they're going to do well, and that feed the younger kids, the ones that are here first year, feed off of that. And it's just fun to see so many lifetime best and kids move up and be excited about swimming at conference meet. And that's what we're looking for. You know, as far as our placing goes, we'll probably be somewhere in the middle again like we have been the last couple of years. And we just got to have a few more bodies in the pool to be able to fill in some spots that we're not able to do because we're a little bit short on our roster.
Centenary College men's and women's swimming and diving programs. Again, the ladies and gents will be led as they head into the season by head coach Butch Jordan, along with junior Chris Reese on the men's side and senior Jessi Jordan on the women's side. Coach, Chris, Jessi, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you move throughout the season.
Thank you, Russell.
Thank you.